You ever find yourself in a relationship where something just feels a little off? It's not always some big dramatic fight, but more of this subtle, creeping feeling that just leaves you feeling drained and kind of confused. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on manipulation and learn how to see it for exactly what it is.
Does this sound at all familiar? You go into a conversation with a totally valid feeling or real concern, and somehow by the end of it, you're the one apologizing. You're the one feeling guilty or even questioning if you saw things right in the first place. That feeling of getting turned all around? Yeah, that's a huge sign that there's something deeper going on.
So let's start right there with that initial gut feeling. That little sense of confusion is actually your first clue. Because look, not every tough relationship is a manipulative one, but when reality always seems to be shifting under your feet and your words are constantly getting twisted, it's definitely time to take a much closer look.
And this definition is just so key. Manipulative behavior isn't always loud or angry. In fact, what's so tricky is that it often disguises itself as love or deep concern. But the real core of it is this pattern, where one person is always holding the power and the other person is left feeling off balance and never quite sure of themselves.
I mean, look at this. When you see it laid out side by side, the difference is just night and day, right? A healthy connection is all about support, but manipulation is all about control. It replaces trust with guilt, honesty with deception, and it turns what should be a team into some kind of constant competition. Seeing it like this makes it all so clear.
So, how does this actually play out in real life? Okay, now we're going to get into the specific tactics, the red flags you could actually watch for. These methods are often really subtle at first, but believe me, they build into a very clear pattern over time. All right, first up, we've got a big one, gaslighting. I'm sure you've heard this term before. It's an incredibly powerful tactic that's all about making you doubt your own memory, your feelings, even your sanity. It's specifically designed to chip away at your confidence and your own perception of reality.
And here it is, the classic line. When you hear this enough, it can make anyone start to second-guess themselves. See, the manipulator insists that their version of events is the only right one, which leaves you feeling confused and maybe even dependent on them for what they call the truth.
Next up, there's guilt tripping. And let's be really clear here. This isn't just someone genuinely telling you they're hurt. This is about using guilt as a tool, like a lever, to control what you do. It's about making you feel responsible for their emotions and their happiness.
Oof. This line is just a masterclass in manipulation. It takes your love, your devotion, and ties it directly to whether or not you'll do what they want. It turns a simple request into this huge test of your commitment to the whole relationship. It puts you in a totally impossible spot.
Okay, this next tactic is just so incredibly frustrating. You try to explain how you feel, but no matter what you say, your words get taken out of context. They get blown out of proportion, or they get completely flipped around. The whole point is to make it seem like you're the one being unfair or hurtful.
And here's exactly how it works. You can make a simple, calm statement about your feelings, and somehow it gets twisted into a personal attack on them. It's this conversational judo move that instantly shifts the focus, turning them into the victim and putting you on the defensive.
Okay, so we've seen the tactics, but why is it so critical to recognize them? Well, this next part breaks down the real long-term damage this stuff causes. And it often happens so slowly, so quietly, that you might not even notice it until you're really deep inside that cycle. And the damage goes deep. This isn't just about being frustrated after an argument. It's a slow motion erosion of your entire well-being. Trust just evaporates. Your self-esteem plummets. You literally start to doubt your own mind. That feeling of safety a relationship is supposed to have, it gets replaced with constant stress. And love starts to feel like something you have to earn over and over again.
But, and this is the most important part of this entire conversation, you are not stuck. Not at all. There is a clear, actionable toolkit for reclaiming your reality and for breaking this cycle.
So where do you even start? Well, first, you just have to see the pattern for what it is. Acknowledge it without making excuses for it. Then, and this is so crucial, you have to actively decide to trust your own reality. Trust your feelings, trust your memories. From there, it's all about setting firm boundaries. Be direct. And then, you have to stop rewarding the behavior. Don't give in. And finally, remember that isolation is a manipulator's best friend. So lean on your friends, lean on your family. Your support system is everything.
And let's just pause on this for a second, because this is the absolute core message. Recognizing manipulation isn't about blaming someone. It's about reclaiming your own power, your own agency. You absolutely have the power to change this dynamic.
This is the bottom line. This is the truth. A healthy relationship should bring you peace, not constant confusion. It should be built on support, not on fear. Everyone, and that includes you, deserves a connection that is rooted in real honesty and genuine respect. So, as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this question. It doesn't have to be some huge, life-altering change. Just think about this. What is one small, firm boundary you can set, maybe even today, to start reclaiming your space and protecting your own peace of mind?